So the brand came to us about launching quite a niche brand. It's a small one, no real presence at the minute, but been going quite a long time. And they wanted to do it globally to their wanderlusters, so the traveling types, the people who like the finer things. And we said, okay, this is great. I like the sound of this brief, I like the product, this is good. Where we started was, first of all, what is the platform and where is the success here, considering you don't have that established presence at the moment. So using tools such as GWI to inform that Instagram was where the audience are, this wanderlust audience. And they indexed highly across quite a lot of platforms, such as Facebook and Twitter, slightly even more towards LinkedIn because it was a mildly older demographic. But the key thing here was of where they were consuming, creating, and also in quite rapid growth was on Instagram. So that made sense for our audience of where we wanted to play. Then they want to do this globally, and it's not a huge budget campaign, this by any means. So the take on that was to make this feel more global and not just go back to a standard set of people. We wanted to take the key markets of where they want that presence. So looking at Paris, London, New York, these were the key markets where they will be pushing this product a lot more. So we were looking for people in those markets to drive global reach but have local relevance. Instagram is quite a globally open platform, but we wanted to make sure there are some roots and presence in those places. So that gave us a long list of potential of who we could work with. It wasn't by any means narrowing it down. But again, we started overlaying the topic. Who is it? What do these guys really need to be credible within and have a voice within? The credibility of that person, how well do they deliver a message? How's their audience actually respond to the content when they come out, even if they are talking about the thing that we want to talk about? Then the brand fit, so that's the all-important, and actually becomes quite subjective because we're in the world of Instagram. Do you like this picture? Brand manager, agency, PR and comms team, funnily enough, everyone's got a bit of a different opinion on what makes a good picture. So again, needing to get that right and really look and get underneath that on the sort of superficial view level. And then once we've got to that point, really start to interrogate the audience. Who is your audience? Who are these people that are liking your pictures, commenting them, that are following you, and they're advocates of you and your photography? And then that gives us the who. And reach became the multiplier of that. So the 2.3 million as a global reach might not seem mind-blowing. However, that's just the starting point because now our media becomes a lot more efficient. These guys are creating assets with us, getting the production. Not only are we getting reach through them in their feeds, but we've also got banks of content to amplify from the brand's point of view. So again, it becomes a much more efficient way of managing the campaign and we can dial up that extra targeted reach. And that's not easy. There are some tools to get to that. We have a proprietary tool that looks at what we've spoken about previously in the previous session, looking at impact of influencers, identifying people around a topic and that the audience genuinely engage and see them for an authoritative voice within that topic. Can also measure through this tool. So again, once we set that up, we start to see how this campaign plays out. And we've teamed up with Brandwatch to develop this tool. We're not a tech company, so we weren't going to start building things from scratch and then the whole world change. So again, having a credible partner to do what it is that we're also being asked on a daily basis from brands. I referenced earlier, great starting point to find out really where your audience is and what they're doing, the kind of platforms in growth, especially on a global level if you don't have a presence within a market, to try and start to get an understanding of what is actually working there. We've been working with some Chinese brands recently, so again, a lot of the social networks that we know over here in the UK are out the window, and we've got to figure out how we're going to speak in the right places to the right people over there. Instagram, the numbers behind the pictures aren't easy to get hold of. Hopefully they get closer to Facebook and we have all of the data at some point. But at the minute, Iconosquare, Minter are two that we like to turn to that gives a really good view of the kind of demographics and also the locations, especially behind some of these pictures and these people. And then Tubular Labs, video, growth, BuzzFeed have touched on it, absolutely massive. These guys are brilliant. This tool is amazing. In terms of the paid-for version, you can access and aggregate every video on the internet and people, it's insane. Even as a free version, if you go on there, you can start to look at creators' profiles and actually get a lot of free information of the demographics, the reach that they've got across all their different video channels. Look at other people as well, that if there are fans of this channel, here's some other people that are watching, here's the other people you could watch out for. So great tool just to jump into and have a rummage around at some point. And then Snapchat, we know that that's a very dark channel, but it's being spoken about a lot, about how do we start to look there. Again, some of these tools that we've seen beforehand, if we're seeing these creators, influencers popular in one space, it's a lot easier for them now to move their audiences into Snapchat. So again, some of the ways of identifying people previously can give you a good gauge of what's going to be going on under the skin of things before we start to see more data from that. And we're having some good success in chats with people in terms of identifying them and then talking about seeing how that mirrors with their Snapchat channels.